Hi, I'm Tori from MeTime, and in this video we're going to give you a couple of tips and tricks on how to choose the right pair of scissors for your next machine embroidery project. I have with me here Vicki, and she is going to tell us what her favorite scissors are to use for what different part of machine embroidery projects.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me, Tori. And well, let's see. So a lot of our embroidery projects have applique, right? So for whatever the different things that you are going to be cutting, you will probably need different types of scissors. So let's dig into the applique one first.
Okay, great. So you brought two projects with us.
Yes, I brought two projects. They are kind of like halfway done so that I could demonstrate today. So for example, with this one, you can immediately see that this applique is kind of bigger and has more of like an open area. And this one over here has like places that are smaller that you have to kind of get into and do like those sharp corners, right? So we're going to start by showing you this one. So in our Kimberbell Deluxe case that brings all of our different scissors, we have this duckbill scissor that are very comfortable to use because you can get the right angle when cutting. So I like kind of like pulling a little bit of the felt or fabric or leather that you will be cutting. And you just kind of want to go around that edge, leaving that raw edge and just pulling a little bit. And you don't want to completely close your scissors. So you're going to kind of like gently go, and probably you're going to be also rotating the project that you're going to be working on.
And that's something I learned a couple weeks ago is that instead of trying to awkwardly turn my arm around a project,
you just finished like that?
someone just said it's okay to turn your hoop sideways or whatever, just because it will give you a better finished project.
Yes,
that was something I learned.
Yes, that's definitely a good idea. Also, some people like putting their projects on those those placemats.
Rotating
cutting mat, so that then you can just like easily rotate your project. Yeah,
I'm gonna try that next time.
So here it's kind of like a good way to get that shape, that angle, and it's very easy to use, and it's for like more open and bigger areas like this.
Okay. And does that matter if I'm cutting felt or fabric, or it's the same as long as it's mostly based on the shape of the applique?
Yes, exactly. Okay. It's the same. Yeah, you can cut felt and fabric and even leather with them. Then if you want to go into more an applique that has more detail like this, where you have to get those sharp corners, it is a good idea to use these black Kai
these
scissors.
Are a favorite that we have in the MeTime store.
They are a favorite. I agree. And here, for example, what you can do is you would just, get to the applique, right? Let me start on this side. So we can get to the applique, and I love how sharp these scissors are. So it really, because of this tip, you can really get into that little corner over there. You do have to be careful not to trim your threads.
Yeah, because it is so sharp, it could just slide right under those threads.
Exactly, especially materials like felt that kind of like just really slide. You want to be careful with that, but it's always good to kind of like hold the excess felt to keep it exactly. And then you will just go around your applique and being gentle with those cuts like that. And just look how clean that looks, right?
That does look so pretty. And felt is sometimes really hard to trim and have it look nice. But these scissors make it easy, right?
Exactly. So these Kai scissors are really like high quality, and they're really good.
What is the best way to trim those pesky jump stitches?
Yes, those jump stitches that sometimes I have forgotten sometimes to cut them, and then like my project is ready. I'm like, oh, those jump stitches. I didn't cut them. So for that though, I know that sometimes, for example, here between the C and the H, you can really see that there's a jump stitch. And it's sometimes hard because those jump stitches will be very short. So also in our deluxe kit, we get our Kimberbell tweezers, one of my favorite tools, just because that sharp tip, right?
And it's sharp on both sides of the
It is,
tip,
yeah.
huh?
Exactly. So here you have different options. And again, it will depend on your preference. But what I have noticed after stitching for a long time is that I like these snips for threads.
Okay.
And
those are kind of nice for your hands won't get tired because they kind of spring back into place.
Exactly. There is something really nice about these, that your hand does not get tired, and you can really get, and they're sharp, so you can really get into those little jump stitches.
Oh, so you use these together?
I do.
Okay, so
yeah.
Will you show us how to do one?
Exactly. So what you're gonna want to do is use your tweezers and just grab the thread, right, that you are wanting to trim, and just kind of gently pull that thread. And you're gonna slide your scissors under that thread and just cut like that.
Wow. Okay.
And then you're going to be grabbing the rest of that thread tail and pulling gently again, applying some pressure and cutting again.
And look how clean that is.
Very clean. Exactly. That's a very clean cut. So these are an option. Another option that also comes in our deluxe kit are these scissors that have this very interesting tip. And they also cut those little jump stitches. And they can also cut your thread tails. These can also be used to cut your upper thread when you're changing your upper thread, or when you're winding your bobbin. These are great for that. So again, it's a little bit of personal preference, but these tools are my go-to when doing jump stitches.
And these three, along with the duckbill scissors, are included in the Kimberbell deluxe embroidery set that is available in the Meantime store.
Exactly. Yes, these are great tools to have. And then we have our little snips. These ones. So again, when you are cutting your upper thread, because you have to change your thread, and this is something I'm giving you an extra tip here that we use actually. So I personally really like cutting my upper thread and pulling the thread from the bottom instead of just pulling your upper thread when you're changing your thread, because it doesn't mess your tension. So if you're cutting your upper thread
and pulling
it down, that will help you with tension issues.
And it seems like it might not gum up your machine too if you're pulling the thread the way through it that it's meant to go versus reverse.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's when I like to use these.
Okay.
And I also like to use these when I am cutting some like tails, or for example, here we had a placement stitch because
kind of
this
like
was
a
a double
basting
hooping.
line.
Yeah. And so we can just kind of like go here and gently kind of cut those there.
Okay.
So these are also great. And these are also available
in the Meantime
in
store.
the Meantime store, and great tools to have. And yeah.
Okay, so I think the last question I have about scissors is, I'm done with my project. I have all this excess stabilizer.
Yep.
Do you have a pair of scissors that you recommend to kind of help trim down your project?
Yes, so you're definitely, so we were talking about like those cuts that happen in details that are small, right? But as you said, if you are finishing your project, for example, we have here this beautiful zipper pouch, and we want to take it out or cut the excess stabilizer.
So it's been dehooped.
It's been it's been dehooped. And then we're gonna go with something bigger. I personally love these scissors. And you will just kind of like start from your edge, going into the project and cutting around the trimming line that your instruction showed you, or around the project. And what's nice is that these are going to cut through your zipper, and they're easy to use as well. And they're comfortable. Like my hands don't get as tired when using these. So they feel very good. You can very much control the way you cut, and you want to just
look how easy. That's like
just
going right through. And this is canvas and stabilizer.
Yeah,
and then you said it will also cut through the zipper.
Oh yeah, I can show you if you want. You can definitely cut through different layers And here, there, no problem.
You made it look so easy.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so these are very comfortable to use. And I also like them for trimming leather when I am not doing like details where I'm cutting around. And if
So like the initial trimming down to go like into a project.
Exactly.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
I definitely also recommend these. So all of our kind of scissors will depend on what project you're working on. If you're working on an area that's going to be more open or closed or details, but all of these tools you can find in our store and they really work well.
Well, Vicki, I think you answered all of my questions about what scissors to use for embroidery projects, and I look forward to trying some of these out on my next embroidery project.
Yes.
And thanks again for joining us in this video. If you want to watch any of our other tip videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And now go enjoy some more well-deserved me time.